Good morning. Thank you for joining me again this morning. It's really beautiful today. I like these clouds. My son's over there digging through the bushes looking for treasures. And I'm going to read this short little section of The Art of Living. This section's called "You Are Much More Than This Body." Do you want to come listen? Come over here and listen. Okay. By now, you may already begin to see that we are not limited to our physical body, even while we are alive. We inter-are with our ancestors, our descendants, and the whole cosmos. We don't have a separate self. We are never really born, and we never really die. We are interconnected with all life, and we are always in transformation. It's interesting, I've been reading about Hindu theology. There's this guy, Gaudapada. He's a non-dualist. And he uses many of the metaphors I recognize from the Lankavatara Sutra. There's a lot of connection between his style and the style put forth by Thich Nhat Hanh. He says the same stuff about no birth and no death. I just wanted to mention that there are many connections. Wise people all over the earth come to the same conclusions, but they're embedded in different cultural contexts. And so they use different language, and they approach the same problems from different angles. It's nice to recognize their uniqueness. There is something to celebrate in diversity. I don't think we have to lump them all together and say they're all the exact same thing, but there is something awesome that they're all pointing to from different angles. I think about climbing a mountain, and the mountain peak is covered in mist. It's mystical. We don't know exactly what the mountain peak is like. From the bottom, we can't see it. There are many paths up the mountain, and different people take different paths. Some are short, some are long. Some end up in crevasses, and people have to turn around again. The jungle is always eating the path. So the path that worked last week, last year, last lifetime may not work this year, or this lifetime. So yeah, I just wanted to ramble about that real quick. Buddhist traditions have developed many ways to visualize our life without boundaries. And one of those ways is to see that, as well as our human body, we have many other bodies. Some traditions say that we have 3, others say 5 or 7. Looking deeply, understanding the nature of emptiness and signlessness, and the inside of interbeing, we can identify at least 8 different bodies. When we are able to recognize and experience all our bodies, we live our life more fully and face the disintegration of our physical body without fear. The word body here simply means a collection of energy, a body of energy. Modern science tells us that everything we perceive is energy. Some kinds of energy we can see or detect with our senses, and some we can detect only with specialized instruments. There may also be types of energy we have not yet learned how to measure. But even so, we may be able to feel and perceive them. I've been reading Rupert Sheldrake's A New Science of Life. He's talking about morphogenic fields. Wow, it's really interesting stuff. Hey, no way. Let me see that. No, let me see it. Don't play with the lighter. Let me see it.
I want to burn it.
No.
Burn it.
Josiah found a lighter.
Huh.
Don't play with the lighter. Josiah?
I found the lighter.
Hey, come here. I'll be right back. Josiah. He's mad at me. He found a lighter. But lighters are dangerous. So yeah, I was reading. We have many different bodies. Thich Nhat Hanh outlines 8 of them. And he describes it very well. They're different energy systems. And then I was mentioning, I've been reading Rupert Sheldrake's book about morphogenic fields. And there is a lot of mystery still left in life. The mechanistic, objective view has been helpful, and it has revealed many interesting things, but it has not explained away everything yet. There's still a lot of room for discovery. Now I'm going to read about one of those bodies. The Buddha body. Buddha nature. Having a human body means you also have a Buddha body. The word Buddha means someone who is awakened and who is working for the awakening of other beings. Buddha body is just a shorthand way of describing our capacity to be awake and fully present, to be understanding, compassionate, and loving. You don't need to use the word Buddha to have a Buddha body. You don't have to believe in anything, not even the Buddha. The Buddha Shakyamuni was not a god. He was a human being with a human body, just like you. And he lived in such a way that his Buddha body could grow. Now my son's playing in the dirt, but at least he's not playing with the lighter. Every human being can become a Buddha. This is good news. We all have the seeds of mindfulness, love, understanding, and compassion. And whether these good seeds have a chance to grow depends on our environment and our experiences. Don't doubt that you have a Buddha body. There have been times in the past when you had the capacity to understand, to forgive, and to love. And these are the seeds of your Buddha body. You have to give the Buddha in you a chance. I like this. Understanding, forgiveness, and love. I think these are only some of the seeds of the Buddha body. We have the 6 paramitas of the Bodhisattva path. Allowing the Buddha in you to grow doesn't require special effort. If you wake up to the beauties of nature, you are already a Buddha. And if you know how to maintain that spirit of waking up alive all day, you are a full-time Buddha. It's not so difficult to be a Buddha. I think many Buddhists, over time and space, have a tendency to distance themselves from Buddha. Oh, Buddha is so impossible. It's such a high impossible state. Yeah, it's different, but it's also available. If we don't have too many notions dividing us away, separating us from Buddha, we see that Buddha is available. It's not so difficult to be a Buddha. Just keep your awakening alive all day long. It's, on one hand, not easy, but on the other, it is available. We're all capable of drinking our tea in mindfulness, or sitting with our kids in mindfulness, going with the flow of their energy in mindfulness, dealing with the shrieking and fighting of the children in mindfulness, working mindfully, walking mindfully, talking mindfully, everything mindfully. It's the spirit, it's the energy of the Buddha. Every one of us can breathe, walk, shower, and eat in mindfulness. Every one of us can wash the dishes in mindfulness. Every one of us can speak and listen with compassion. Compassion, in the Buddhist system, is different from what we usually translate as loving kindness. And Thich Nhat Hanh encourages us to speak of loving kindness as simple love. He translates it as love. I think that's even here in this book that he addresses how calling it loving kindness makes it sound kind of weird or technical, when really we could just say love. Compassion is that energy that wants beings who are suffering to stop suffering. Yeah, that is true. Dealing with children is an intense meditation. We learn a lot about ourselves. It's awesome. I don't think you should be sorry. That's what I was talking about. But whatever our livelihood is, whether we're a teacher... Oh, I was talking about compassion. Compassion is that energy of mind, that state of mind that wants beings to suffer less. We see beings suffering and we want them to stop suffering. Love, metta, is that state of mind where we want beings to thrive. So on one hand, we want to see beings be happy, thrive, succeed. And then we have compassion, where we see beings suffering and we want them to stop suffering. We want to do what we can to help them stop suffering. And then another, so these two are Brahma Viharas, so the dwelling places of God, or Brahma. We have then, after love and compassion, we have mudita, which is a sympathetic joy. When we see beings succeed, we ourselves are happy. Until we have this kind of joy, it's difficult to be around successful people, happy people. If we don't have this kind of joy, then when we're around successful, happy people, then we feel jealousy. We look at them and we're like, ugh. Until we can figure out how to be happy that they're happy, their happiness will be a hindrance. So it's an interesting Brahma Vihara. And the last is equanimity. There's a sutta called the Sakkapanha Sutta, where the Buddha teaches the king of 33 gods, is Sakka, Indra. The Buddha talks to a lot of gods in early Buddhist texts. This is one of them, Sakka. He teaches Sakka about two kinds of happiness, two kinds of sadness, two kinds of everything, including equanimity. There is the kind to be pursued and the kind to be avoided. So the last of the Brahma Viharas is this equanimity. The kind to be pursued, of all the states, is the one that produces more wholesome mental factors. Good morning, Courtney. The style of equanimity to be pursued is that which produces more wholesome factors. The style of equanimity to be avoided is the one that produces more unwholesome mental factors. So then we have to ask, what does wholesome mean? What does unwholesome mean? Wholesome is that which is conducive to the bliss of realization. Unwholesome, is a hindrance. So what is the unwholesome equanimity? I would say it is more like apathy. Apathy disguised as equanimity thinks, I'm going to shut myself off from the world. I'm going to ignore it. I don't care. But the wholesome equanimity is more like a mental, psycho-spiritual equilibrium. It's where our loving attention is spread equally across the whole mind system. We aren't concentrated, we aren't isolated to any particular section of it. We have compassion, love, and joy spread all over evenly. So yeah, I just started rambling on that because I saw him talk about compassion. The more you water the seeds of mindfulness, concentration, insight, and love in you, the more your Buddha body will grow, and the happier and freer you'll become. whatever our livelihood is, whether we're a teacher, an artist, a social worker, or a business person, we can participate in the work of a Buddha, helping to nurture enlightenment and awakening and to bring positive change to the world. When we can be fully present and get in touch with the wonders of life that have the power to heal and nourish us, we will have enough strength to help others suffer less. So when we have these qualities ourselves, we can share them. Sharing them, we help others suffer less. But we have to take care of ourselves. We need these qualities present within us in order to share them. It's like that example. We can't hand out coins if we have no coins. We can't really share that which we don't have. So we take care of ourselves. Taking care of ourselves, we benefit others. Benefiting others, we take care of ourselves. How can this be? It's because self and other are just wrong views. Where there is no self, there is no other. So when we work on the external, we're really working on the internal. Working on the internal, we're really working on the external. When we can be fully present and get in touch with the wonders of life that have the power to heal and nourish us, we will have enough strength to help others suffer less. Someone who has not woken up cannot help another person to wake up. That's what I was just rambling about. A non-Buddha cannot make another Buddha. And here, a non-Buddha, we all have Buddha nature, but I think he's talking about a person who has not developed these qualities, or who has forgotten about these qualities, because they're always present to some degree, like seeds in soil. But we gotta water those seeds, we gotta nourish those seeds so that they can grow and flower. And when they flower and come to fruition, then we can share. We can share the whole time too. Community of good friends, they can all bring benefit to each other. Nobody has to be perfect. We can help each other walking side by side down the path. To be a Buddha, to wake up, also means to wake up to the suffering in the world and find ways to bring relief and transformation. This is engaged Buddhism. We wake up to the suffering in the world. We engage the suffering that's there. Oh, wonderful. That's a powerful work. Self-care must be very important in that work. So this requires a tremendous amount of energy when we are engaging the suffering in the world, and caring for people who are dying is a very engaged Buddhist practice. There's potentially a lot of suffering there. Your strong aspiration, your mind of love, is that immense source of energy that helps you wake up to the nourishing and healing beauties of nature and to the suffering of the world. So we can do this simultaneously. We see love and joy and compassion at the same time that we see suffering. It's mixed. Wonderful. It gives you a lot of energy to help. And this is the career of a Buddha. And if you have that source of strength in you, if you have the mind of love, you are a Buddha in action. So I see that the ultimate goal is to live mindfully, to have this energy of mindfulness 24 hours a day. But it's also helpful to set aside time for ourselves, to breathe mindfully, take care of the inside of the mind. So it's nice to sit down or walk around in mindfulness, to follow the breath, to listen, to guard the sense doors, see what we see, hear what we hear, smell what we smell, taste what we taste, feel what we feel, and think what we think. as long as the energy of mindfulness is there, then any of these activities is a kind of meditation. When I hear a sound, I think, ooh, I hear a sound. I hear a bird. And I watch it come and I watch it go, and I have insight. I see that it's impermanent. And I see that it's all in context. I see that it is created by what it is not. It's created by not self elements. So the characteristics of existing things becomes clear, and that's insight. I hear my son over there playing in the dirt, making funny noises. So that was the reading I'm going to do, and now I'm going to breathe for a second until my son's done playing, or until I feel like we should get out of here. So I invite you to sit with me, stand, walk, lay down, roll around, jump around. But whatever it is you're doing, know that you're doing it. And I say no with a G, G-N-O. And I mean direct experiential understanding. It's not like we're just sitting here thinking about what we're doing, although it's kind of like that. But I get close to the direct experience of whatever it is. I really work to hear what I'm hearing, and I really work to feel the full experience of the breath. Whatever aspect of it calls to my attention, I attend. I breathe deep into my belly. It helps relax. I try to hold my back up straight. It helps to breathe. There's a point 2 finger widths below the belly button that Thich Nhat Hanh encourages us to breathe into. It's called the Dantian point, Chinese medicine. So I sit up, and breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. And breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. In and out. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. Breathing in, I see myself as a flower. And breathing out, I feel fresh. Flower. Fresh. Josiah, you want to come sit?
Yeah.
I'm saying visualizations. You want to sit on the rock? Breathing in, I see myself as a mountain. Breathing out, I feel stable. Breathing in, I see myself as a birdie. Breathing out, I feel free. Breathing in, I see myself as a flower. Breathing out, I feel fresh. Breathing in, I see myself as a flower. Breathing out, I feel fresh. Breathing in, I see myself as a mountain.
Daddy!
Oh, wow, it's a dragonfly on his hand. Come here.
Let's go.
Ooh. It's a special omen. Wow. Show him. Wow. It wants to sit with you. Come sit down.
Probably can't fly.
Maybe it's tired.
Lands on me.
Breathing in, I see myself as a flower. Breathing out, I feel fresh.
I'm gonna make this guy see.
Breathing in, I am a dragonfly.
Like me. You're my friend. Dragonfly.
Breathing out, I feel like a dragonfly.
Inside!
Bye-bye, dragonfly.
Oh, I see him still. Look at that.
Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I feel fresh. In. Out. And repeat.
I'm giving him a little air area.
Did you get him again?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Breathing area. Can I make him land on you? It's okay.
Don't hold him too much, you'll get hurt. Yeah, just sit down with him and let him relax.
My face. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Why is it coming back?
No, no.
No! No! There!
The birdie almost ate the dragonfly.
No! No! I can't let a dragonfly. What is all this weird stuffing? I'm getting over the fence.
That's pokey fence. Be careful. It's not stable.
Is it not stable?
Don't climb all the way up there. It's too pokey. Hey, Josiah, don't do that. You don't listen to me. You're gonna get hurt.
Fine.
Thank you for joining me, Jason.
How much likes do we have?
I don't know.
A million, probably.
You too. You too, thank you. What?
I'm on the other side.
What the heck? Don't go too far.
Ooh, berries.
You have a good day too.
No. Hey, look at that, some tubes we can use.
Whoa. We're at a... This is a place where there used to be a hotel. It got demolished. So there's a lot of interesting old stuff around here to look at. I come here and I meditate every day. Today my son is with me. There's a lot of stuff for him to explore. I can sit and follow my breath. And then I can look and see what's going on. I don't see conflict, no distraction. I'm just hanging out in the pure land of the present moment. Okay. Thank you for joining me. I'm gonna go explore with my son now. Have a wonderful day. Yeah. Leave me a message, comment. I'm happy to talk about Buddhism, and meditation, and life. Goodbye.